What's going on? It's your boy Monte G.
And Z Green.
You know what I'm saying? We're back at it again with another video for you guys. This one is about effective communication or communication within the relationship. All right? Before we begin though, I want to give a special shout out to my boy Damori Morton, aka King, with his clothing line, Affirm Clothing. We'll have the link in the comments below. Also have it in the below this video on YouTube. So make sure y'all go check it out. Get your own hoodie. It comes with a whole bunch of different kinds, not just one with the crown. It comes in different colors.
So I'll start off by talking about communication, or more importantly, effective communication. One of the things that we feel for us, that works for us, that we feel will be beneficial for others, is communicating with the intent to understand where your partner is coming from, instead of always being on a defense. Like you always have to explain yourself, or this is the reason why I'm doing this, or this is the reason why I'm doing that, versus listening to what your partner is actually saying.
Exactly. So a lot of mistakes we feel like a lot of relationships have, they like to bring up their issues while they're upset, which is never a good thing. You should never go into letting your partner know what's going on in your mind while you're upset, because it can come off offensive. It can come off as you not really caring about their feelings, among other things, you know what I'm saying? So when you do want to let your partner know, or your spouse, or whoever you're with, whoever you want to let them know, especially come from a more getting them to understand and not more of an upset place, in my opinion.
Sometimes the lines get blurred with intent versus content. Like sometimes if I'm upset and I'm talking, I tend to use my hands more, or my body language is just very defensive, or as if I'm pissed off. Whereas if I take the time to cool down, think about it, come back and be like, hey babe, look, I didn't appreciate when this and this happened, and then handle it from that space. But oftentimes if we do stuff in the heat of the moment, because we're mad, we don't necessarily, we understand what we're saying, but because we're mad, we don't care about the delivery. And that's where that intent versus the content of what you're saying comes into play. Communication is always going to be key. Am I saying you can't be upset and express yourself? I'm not saying that. What we're saying is take a step back, breathe, and then go back and talk to your partner.
Exactly.
For me, several times, like I'm the type of person that if I get really mad, I shut down. Monty could be in my face talking to me, but if I'm mad, I shut down. That was the beginning of our relationship. Now, when I get upset, I'll tell him, hey, give me a minute. Or he'll tell me, hey, give me a minute. And then we'll come back and we'll address it. But one of the things that works for us, we don't sleep in separate areas. Like if we're mad, okay, be upset. But tonight, guess where you're sleeping? In the bed next to me. Like we don't allow that space and that separation, because in that you're left alone to your thoughts. And not all the time is it good to be left alone to your thoughts.
Exactly.
Relationships to me are not 50-50. It's 100, and sometimes it's 100, more than that.
110. Y'all have to be all in. Both y'all have to be all in or nothing. No, there's no meeting halfway. That's not a thing. I don't even know where that began. I heard that somewhere, but people's like, oh, y'all both get 50-50 so y'all can have. No, that's not it. Y'all both have to be 100% in and willing to do what it takes to make y'all relationship good. Now, we're not saying this to come off like we're the perfect relationship. That doesn't exist. I don't want anybody to watch this video and make it seem that we're making the assumption that is the case, because it's not. Nobody will ever have a perfect relationship. You just both have to be willing to work to make it work. Yeah. So like when you're talking to your person, make sure you also listen to understand and not to just, you know what I'm saying, respond. That is a big issue, and that's normally comes when y'all talk about what's going on when you're upset. There's nothing wrong with walking away, calming yourself, and coming back to the issue. Now, 'cause it has to be addressed, because if it doesn't, it gets stuck in and it builds up, and then when it does come out, after it's held in so long, man, it gets
blazing.
It gets horrible. It gets so bad, and y'all can start saying stuff or do something that you'll regret later, or you'll second guess it, like, should I have done that? Which, if you have to second guess it 9 times out of 10, that means you went at it a way that you knew you probably shouldn't have. You understand? So this isn't us telling y'all how to run your relationship. This is just advice. You know what I'm saying? We just like to share our love with the world, because our love story is unique in our opinion, and we want to, you know what I'm saying, help y'all, you know, find the happiness that we have.
Help others. But one of the reasons why we call our thing DK3, which is different kind of love, and if you notice, the 3 has the rope, and it's like that 3-strand cord. That's me, him, Christ. And with that combination, that's how I feel we win. Because sometimes I can be all in Zephyrly, and sometimes he could be all in Monty. And it's that Christ, that Holy Spirit, that guidance that's gonna bring us closer together. You know, everybody believes in their different things, but that's what we believe in. And because of the love that we have for each other, and then his example of unconditional love, that's how I can be upset, but I can also come back and be like, look, babe, I was mad. I was wrong for how I handled this situation. I was in my feelings when I did it. And it's nothing wrong with asking for forgiveness, because none of us are perfect. So there's times where, I mean, I've been mad, and it don't even be his fault. It literally be my fault. But I be in my feelings. So at that point, I don't want to apologize. But eventually, sometimes, might not be the next day, one day, I'll come back and just be on some, I was wrong. And he knows that's hard for me, because he'll rub it in. He was what? Say it again. Because he knows I struggle with that thing. Me, wrong? I struggle with that.
It's hard for anybody to admit they're really wrong.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing for anybody. But you have to have, like, put that pride to the side and be like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Be man enough or be woman enough, be like, you know what? You were right, I was wrong. There's nothing wrong with that, you know what I'm saying? Especially in a relationship. If you don't do it for anybody in the world, do it for the person you love. You know what I'm saying? Or what you want to spend the rest of your life with. You know what I'm saying? You have to. If that's what you want, that pride means nothing. I have a lot of pride when it comes to a lot of things, and I'm dealing with that the way I have to deal with that. I'm working on it. It's just something me personally working on. Not to turn off the subject of communication, but you know, we do it together. We communicate and make everything work out at the end of the day.
And one thing, like, communication is not just based on, like, you're having a disagreement, or I want this done, I want this done.
Yes.
For us, communication is our goals, our dreams.
Yeah.
All of that. And us being dual military, working with a blended family, 2 teenagers and a 9-year-old about to be 10. It's a lot that's always going on in our household. And as parents, we tend to put our things to the side, because our priority becomes our kids. But
a lot.
Oftentimes I'll come back. I know my husband loves music. I know my husband loves to sing. I know that's one of his passions. So I'm like, babe, what have you done for this today? Or when are you going to make some music? Or when are you going to do this? And then vice versa. He knows, like, I'm that NCO. Like, army, soldier. And I love doing it. So he's seen times where it's just like, I'm losing that. And he'll be like, babe, what's wrong? Or, babe, where are you at with this? And
you probably should get up and go do this.
Yeah, and that's communication. And then not even in the aspect of jobs and things like that, just health-wise. You know, October, I had a stroke, and
last year.
It got 2019. So it kind of got me in a funk, because I'm the type of person I wasn't used to having to depend on people to do things. Yeah. And now that I'm recovering, I want it done now. I want to be here now. I don't want physical therapy. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I want it to already be done, to the point where certain appointments and things like that, I'll go and not like, babe, I had this appointment. Oh, I didn't know about it. I didn't tell you. Like, those are the type of communications too. Like it could be little things. It doesn't have to be something so big. Or you could have just had a great day. You come on, be like, man, babe, let me tell you about my day. Great. You know what I mean?
Guess what?
That's him.
Yeah.
But I mean, all in all, a relationship cannot work. I don't care who you are. Your relationship will not work if you do not know how to communicate and understand that communication is not a monologue. It's not just you talking. I talk, he talk. I listen, he listens. We understand. That's how you communicate. And if it gets to that point where things are so frustrating where you feel you can't talk, guess what still works? Pen and paper. You can literally write down how you feel. Granted, it lacks tone, but it's a way to start. Communication is very important, and it's key, not just in husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, whatever your situation may be.
Communication.
That's family.
You have to be on the same page.
Yep.
It's like, whether y'all agree on something or whether y'all disagree on something, y'all have to at least know how that person feels about it. You know, you have to know if she disagrees with something, it's like, okay, we just gonna have to agree to disagree.
Between everyone.
Exactly.
Don't just limit communication to your spouse. It can be applied to your family, where you work, where you go to school. It can be applied in every situation. Learn how to effectively communicate, be able to articulate what you want to say. Don't constantly be in your feelings, because sometimes that will cause more harm than good.
Yeah. You gotta control your emotions. But, you know what I'm saying, that's all we wanted to really share with y'all. Just another segment, on communication, effective communication, whatever you want to call it. Thank y'all. We want to thank everybody from tuning in for us, anybody watching our videos, sharing our videos, commenting how you feel. If y'all feel like we need to touch a subject, please comment below. We'll make a video on it, or our aspect on what we think should be done.
Again, we appreciate everyone's support. Don't forget, if you like the sweatshirt that I have on, it's from the Affirm clothesline. That will also be in the bottom part as well. And then, side note to everything else, we support small business owners. So
yes,
just like we want others to pour into us, we want to pour into others too. So feel free to comment if whatever your small business is, whether you make paper flowers. Shout out to Cookies Paper Petals. She helped do our decor for our wedding. Whether you do body butters, butterfly Butte, we use her stuff. Like we're always trying to give back to small businesses.
Like I said, like you send us a product, or you tell us about a product, if we agree with it or anything, you know what I'm saying, we'll shout you out in the video. Thank y'all.